So, Ser Loras, welcome to the frigid north, as you can feel there.
Oh, it's
Enjoying
freezing in it.
We thought we'd bring you to the kingdom. And as you know, of course, this is the panel for Wrong Turn 5, so let's talk about that.
I've not actually seen that. I've not actually seen it.
Good.
Yeah, it looks awful.
Right at the gate, you just insult the guests. Good job, Dan.
Oh, yeah, he's got so many wrong
breakfast,
things going for him right now. Let me just kick him.
Jesus. I'd like to thank everybody for coming to my panel alone from the future on. So, guys, you are in the biggest show pretty much ever.
And you're not dead yet.
And
so
you're not
good
yet.
job with that. We haven't seen the other season, so we're a little bit back. You're kind of screwed right now, I think.
Yeah, Lawrence is in a bad place.
Yeah. Is that on? There you go.
There we go.
So, but other than that, you're still alive, and you're talking to a tree, I think.
Talking to a tree. Yeah, we're worm farming, actually. Yes, it's not actually a very exciting place to be beneath a tree. But yeah, we'll be back in season 6. Hopefully it'll be slightly more interesting. Hopefully. Hopefully. That's all I'm saying.
Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah, so we're both still alive. So why do you think you're still alive?
Why do I think I'm still alive?
You good at
Because I'm
blowjobs?
the only token gay character. Yeah, exactly.
I know I am.
I don't know. Why am I still alive? Just been lucky, I guess. Well, I guess Loras is in a good position. Well, he was in a good position because he's kind of affiliated with a very powerful house.
Right,
So politically, he's kind of in a strong position to not get killed. But obviously, since the sparrows have turned
Right.
like a lot
Since
of all that kind of politics kind of goes out the window.
Mm-hmm.
There's a new order in town.
I know the sparrows, have taken over the area there, so it's a little bit dangerous for you right
Very funny.
now. Jonathan Pryce seems like a cool guy to hang out with, though.
Yeah, he's great. He's really nice, actually. He's a really great actor. He's like really cool on set. He's very friendly.
Yeah.
Great to work with.
And it's weird for him to go so friendly and then just instantly just cold and just that character just is really only Jonathan Pryce could play it,
That
really.
with a lot of the cast, like the guy that plays Joffrey, Jack Gleason, like he's the nicest guy.
That's what we've heard. Yeah.
So it really is amazing, and Lena's lovely as well, who plays Cersei, and you just never would imagine this, from seeing their characters. So.
Especially Lena. Lena is so different to her
she's
character.
It was such a shock because I have a 4-year-old and a 5-month-old, and we're watching Sesame Street, and there she is doing ABCs with like one of the Muppets. Yeah, her and Peter did an episode of Sesame
the
Street.
new one?
Yeah, the newest season.
How is that? Is it good?
It's all right. I mean, it keeps the kids entertained.
Spoilers.
But yeah, there they
Sesame
are.
Street spoilers.
Sesame Street
Yeah.
spoilers.
Yeah.
The letter C dies in the 4th episode.
Oh, you spoiled it.
Letter.
So yeah, we're very happy we're still alive because Game of Thrones really does this wonderful thing where they make you love a character and then shit right on your heart as soon as you get there.
Yeah.
So you're still good though, and
Still good. Yeah,
everybody loves
lucky.
Hodor. Who doesn't? Does anybody not? Because
Yeah, who
I'll
gets
eject you
Hodor?
right now. Speak.
Yeah, I thought so.
No, that's right.
I didn't like him at first, if I'm honest. I wasn't sure about the character. I was like, really? Really, one word? Is that all you're going to give me? I kind of was like meh about it. And I told my mum about the audition, and she was a huge George R. R. Martin fan before this all happened. And she was like, Kristian, you just take the part. It's going to be amazing. You're going to be part of this big, huge fantasy epic. And I was like, okay, mummy. So, yeah.
It's a big thing now. You and Groot are like the most popular giants that only say one thing over and
He's
over.
not even. He doesn't compare to Hodor.
Groot is not in the same league. as Hodor.
Not in the same league.
That's right.
That's just some twat voice actor.
Oh, great. Kristian Nairn calls that Vin Diesel.
Love you, Vin. Love you, Vin.
I do have a question, though. You said your mom, she said, I'll just take the part of Hodor. Did she change her tune when she realized that you were going to be naked in the woods? Or
My mom has done all sorts of weird things for me in my career. You have no idea. Right, okay. I'm going to share this. I don't give a shit. My first job in show business was a drag queen. That was what, yeah.
Wow.
Some of you might know that. It's not a secret, for fuck's sake. My mum used to make my mini skirts. And I'd be like, shorter. And she'd be like, you look like a slut. And I don't care, Mom, make it shorter. So there you go, that's my mother. She's pretty cool. She's a cool lady.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Finn,
I've never seen you in a
Dysfunctional
miniskirt.
family.
Finn, how'd you get the role? How'd you find out about
See
the
me in a
role?
miniskirt?
I've not seen you in a miniskirt. No, not recently.
It's not a pretty sight at the minute.
Oh, but it's wonderful.
You weren't at the rave?
wax out.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's a bit hairy down there at the minute. Are we on microphones?
Were they kind of like PVC miniskirts?
I did have a PVC one. I also had a rubber one. It was wiped. They're all wiped clean. You notice this?
We need to bring the cosplay girls in here for these fashion tips.
I mean, it's not what you were thinking, by the way. It was like a sci-fi type thing. It was like a cross between Divine and like probably Marilyn Manson meets Alien. You know, it was
So
really
Zardoz.
freaky.
Is that what you're saying?
Somewhere John Waters
it
just
was really
perked up.
inhuman.
Yeah.
Like, people were terrified of me. I loved that. That's kind of weird. Complex.
I think you should bring it back. I think you should revive.
There is a plan.
Oh.
There is a plan, but I can't tell you about it at the minute.
Oh
but
my
it's going to be
God,
just a
I'd love it.
one-off.
So the three-eyed Ravens is going to talk to Hodor in a miniskirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should do RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah, that might be part of the plan.
Oh, really?
Might be, might not be. We'll see.
You've heard it here. Game of Thrones will be directed by Stephen
Okay,
Lynch
we're
for
moving
the
on
next
from
season.
drag now. That was only a little tidbit of information. This is not a drag panel. Anyway.
So how did I get the part?
Yeah.
I went to drama school for 3 years. I left drama school. I originally auditioned for the pilot. And then they made the pilot, and then the pilot was commissioned, and then I auditioned for Loras. And I auditioned. I had another audition, I had a recall with the producers, the director, and then I got the role. It kind of seems really like...
That seems pretty easy, huh?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, there's
called
not
it a
much
day.
to it.
There you go. So there you go, guys. Become actors. Just,
Yeah, just audition. Well, I went to drama
Just
school
do
for
it.
3 years beforehand.
Right,
That
yeah.
was kind of
No,
fun,
it's-
and, but it's all like a process, and I was just lucky. I was in the right place at the right time. Yeah.
And it works out well. You do.
Just lucky.
You're great.
Yeah, I was just lucky.
Who spends longer in makeup?
Me or Kristian?
Me.
Yeah, definitely Kristian.
Really?
I've got like prosthetic scar and stuff.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
So I have to have my tattoos covered. Yeah. It actually takes longer to make you look legitimately dirty and
Yeah.
unkempt than it does to make you look pretty.
Wow.
They don't have to do a lot of work on Finn.
Yeah.
No, it takes me. I'm quite simple. Like when I have my long hair, like I'd literally just go into the makeup truck,
Yeah.
be there for like 5 minutes, if that, and then hair was like the same. Like it was really simple. For me.
Oh, okay.
Then you got some of the girls that have to go in there and get the wigs put on. They're
Right,
they're in
and
the
the whole-
makeup and hair trucks for like hours
Hours,
before.
yeah.
Yeah. I think there's one character who has the whole body in prosthetics, and their call time this season was something like 2:30 a.m.
Oh, God.
for like a 6:30 a.m. start, and they had to be in prosthetic makeup like for like 5-6 hours before they shot.
Wow.
Yeah, it's insane.
Wow.
So luckily,
Yeah.
that was
And it can be like a 15-minute snippet on set. They'll get ready 2 a.m. in the morning and be used for 15 minutes, and then they go home.
get it all taken off.
It's
again.
horrific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you guys predominantly? Because I know like there's different shooting camps pretty much all across the world. Where predominantly, like Finn, where are your scenes normally filmed, and then Kristian?
Normally, they're split between Belfast and Croatia.
Okay.
So yeah, it just depends. Like a lot of the internal stuff in King's Landing will be shot in Belfast, and then all the external stuff will be shot on location in Croatia.
And what is it like when you guys are more so in Croatia? Like, how are you guys really received around there? Like, and how is it kind of being in Croatia for that period of time while you're not shooting?
I mean, I love Croatia. Like, it's a beautiful place to go. Like, there's the old city. It's right on the coast. The sea is beautiful. The food's really good. So yeah, it's wonderful. There's not much heat around. Like, there's not much. Like, I know when they went to Seville in Spain last year, like it was intense. Like lots of people,
sure.
like following the like the filming around, you know. But in Croatia, it's a lot more chilled. I found anyway. That's
cool. And then Kristian?
Yeah, most of my stuff was in my home country of Northern Ireland, which is really handy. At first, I was annoyed. I thought, I want to travel with this, but I was pissed off to discover it was 10 minutes away from my front door. But Belfast is an ideal location. It's a really beautiful country. It rains a lot. It's really grey and depressing, but it's also very green and lush. And you can be in the city centre of Belfast, and within 10 minutes you're in a field with cows and fucking sheep and shit. And people in Belfast, I think, are pretty cool. I mean, we can walk.
Yeah, they're great.
Totally, no one gives a shit about Game of Thrones in Belfast. You can pretty much walk around and not be hassled.
Oh wow!
You might get the odd
You get
drone.
the tourists. You get a lot of like Thrones tourists.
You've got Americans.
Yeah, Americans. Yeah, that's
We were really bad
a lot of
about not
Americans
people.
come for the tourists, seriously, which is great, obviously. You'll see the odd drone copter fly over the set sometimes.
Yeah.
Trying to film
I
stuff.
think they've got a shotgun now, so every time they see one, they're going to shoot them down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Made that up.
Yeah.
Sounds cool though.
I just went with it.
We believed it.
Like clay pigeon shooting with drones. Oh, there's another one. Get the fuckers.
This is America. We pull shotguns on to shoot shit all the time. A sign!
So we got a lot of people who probably want to ask questions. I'll go out and venture out forth with the wireless mic, and
Okay.
you can keep them company. Have a beer or something like that with them.
Sure. While you're doing that. So while you're doing that, you guys also have, aside from Game of Thrones, you guys also have another thing in common. You're both DJs as well. So what I'm kind of interested in is actually, do you guys pretty much have, and I will be 100% honest, I know nothing about DJ, even though my dad's a DJ at a strip club. That's not at all the same thing. So is there different styles of DJing? And if so, like, do you feel as though you are similar in the way that you guys kind of construct your shows, or would
I guess we do have similar music tastes. Like we both like kind of house music, techno. We're very similar tastes. But yeah, there's loads of ways. There's vinyl DJing. There's like CD DJing. There's digital DJing. There's all different genres. Like there's lots of different. But I say we're quite close on the spectrum in our taste.
Yeah, and there's club DJing. There's wedding DJing. There's
Right, well, yeah.
It's very different. The different levels of skill.
Yeah.
It would be strange if you have a hip hop scratch DJ at a wedding. You need Garth Brooks for that shit.
Yeah, like I say, I know it's vastly different from what my dad does, but I just wanted to ask.
There's a few DJs actually. Alfie DJs a bit as well, doesn't he? He dabbles.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he does. I mean, nothing like it's a hobby,
Yeah. It's weird. There's actually a lot of actors now. Elijah Wood's the same way. He does more vinyl DJing stuff. Like he brings his own like big crates of vinyls and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's like I did a whole tour of basically the world last year, and that's the favorite question. It's like, do you see yourself as a celebrity DJ? Are you jumping on the bandwagon and stuff? And I just got so bored of that question. I DJ'd 20 years ago. I've been DJing. That's what my job was.
Right. Yeah.
That's what my job was before I was an actor. I wouldn't do it the other way around. I think it's kind of crass. But on the other hand, I don't think people should not do it, because you should do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah. It's got to be a blast.
People are so judgmental.
Yeah.
When I first became an actor, people were like, he's a DJ, he can't act. And now people know me as an actor. It's like, you're an actor, you want to be a DJ? And I'm like, I have to do this all over again.
Right.
It's crazy.
Right. And
it's not fucking brain surgery, like it's DJing and acting. I can do more than one thing.
either way, it seems like a lot of fun. Like, why would you stop?
I love it. I mean, I never stopped DJing. During the first 2 seasons of Game of Thrones, I would DJ literally until 3 a.m. and I'd have like a 5 a.m. call, and I'd go straight to work and do a day on set, and it nearly killed me, but it was fun.
Yeah.
All right, we got our first question over here.
Hi.
Hello.
How did you both feel when you got the roles in the show?
I was happy. I was really happy. It was probably one of the first, big job for me at that time. I was just excited, but also like I had no idea what it was going to be like. I had no idea like how big it was going to get or anything. How long it was going to last for. But yeah, I was like hopeful and excited and kind of like wow, whoa, what's going to happen? Like curious, I guess.
It came at a really good time for me. I was about 34. I've been DJing in the same club for maybe 15, 16 years, and I really still enjoyed it. But I was ready for something new, a slightly new challenge, and it was just perfectly the right time. Although the same as Finn, I didn't know how big it was going to be, so it didn't feel like a golden ticket or anything like that.
Because we were casting the show before it actually aired, there wasn't the hype that surrounds it now. I think if now I was auditioning to be a part of like season 6, I think it would be a whole different ball game. I think it would be a lot more nerve-wracking, and I think it would feel like the golden ticket, getting the part. But because no one had even heard of Game of Thrones, it was a bit like, oh, okay, well, this could be really cool. Like, yay, it's a job, I'm working, but I didn't really know what it was going to be. So, yeah.
Hi. So if you could live any episode in real life, which one would you?
If I could live in any episode of Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Well, it's difficult. I don't think I'd like to live in any of the real life. They're all terrible. Maybe... I'm trying to think of a fun episode. There aren't any. Like when they're just like hanging out, maybe like sunbathing.
Bungee jumping.
Yeah, just like... Maybe
Brad and Hodor go to the store.
I mean, it would be cool. I mean, it would be cool to do that. What's that? What's the one where Jon Snow beats up all those White Walkers? Hard Home. That's it. That would be pretty epic. I'd shit myself, but I'd like to live it. But it would be quite cool to kind of be there and be like, "What the fuck?"
I literally can't think of anything. I can't think of anything happy that I would want to make real.
What about it? It was quite when you guys finally got to that tree. That was quite like a. Ooh.
Oh wow! Bark rubbings.
Yeah.
No, I mean, do you know what? You sort of start to confuse your real life with your character sometimes when you're on set. And see, when we did reach the tree and we saw the sun rising above the tree, it actually felt like we'd done this journey. It felt real, and it's almost like a sense of relief. But I don't want to live in a tree, man. Not Avatar. I can't think of anything.
Let's go to the next question.
Yeah, let's move on.
Hi, guys.
But thank you.
All right, so always like in an ensemble cast, you have people coming and going, and like someone said earlier, you can't really get in love with anyone in Game of Thrones because he's gonna kill them. But having so many co-stars, which one departing or may not have departed, and we think so, may have been the hardest death for you as a viewer?
So what was you say? What character? Oh, was the hardest death?
Yeah, which one was the hardest death for you as a...
Oh, I thought it was, so in the Red Wedding, when Robb Stark's wife, who's played by Una Chaplin, I don't remember the character's name, Talisa or something like that?
Talisa.
Yeah.
Talisa, yes.
When she gets stabbed in the belly, that was for me, I think, one of the most horrific deaths of Game of Thrones. Yeah.
And obviously during the Red Wedding also, Catelyn Stark's death, I think that was the one that got to me most. I think her acting was superb as well. I really felt that one. And we missed Michelle as well. Yeah.
Hi. Obviously, Game of Thrones takes place in a really depressing world most of the time, but if you could be any character, not just yourself in a certain scene, which one would you be?
If I could be any character in Game of Thrones? Oh, I don't know, maybe one of the prostitutes? What about, what's the one that is like the contortionist? The one that, the contortionist. The one that
I heard you.
Podrick sleeps with.
I don't know. Shay?
All right, serious answer. Shay.
No, not Shay.
No, it's not Shay. She's not a contortionist. Anyway,
I know
whatever.
who you mean. Yeah,
Yeah, whatever. I'd like to play Theon. I think Theon's a really interesting character. It has a lot of depth. You really understand why he is the way he is, and he's not so clear-cut evil. Like, you understand there's issues going on there. And also, you get to do the whole arc. You get to go from Theon to Reek. Yeah, definitely. As an actor, definitely.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, it would be difficult. Without a doubt. It would be really fucking difficult to portray a character like that for such a long amount of time. Even this year, with what Loras has to go through this year, I found it. You do, because it bleeds. You live that role, and but I think it would be really rewarding for an actor. It'd be difficult, but it'd be rewarding. It's a challenge. So.
I would like to play a really different version of Arya, if you can imagine that.
Not so nimble.
Not so nimble. More sort of ham-fisted version of Arya. I think she's an amazing character, obviously. I like the fact that she's got her ninja skills, but she also still has a bit of the underdog thing happening, and I'm really interested to see where she ends up. I really want her to have some horrible revenge. It probably won't happen.
I reckon maybe she'll end up killing Sansa by mistake. She's on her mission to kill people.
Yeah, she's on the list.
Yeah, and Sansa's always changing her identity to save herself. Maybe she'll change her identity, and then obviously they'll be so different. They would have grown in such different women that they won't know. There'll be something like that, I reckon. It'd be interesting.
It's messed up enough; it could happen.
Yo. Boxers or briefs?
Boxers or briefs? Oh, commando.
Commando.
Yeah, commando. Ooh,
That was an American question. You got a British answer.
And now I'm kind of paranoid.
Anybody else have a question here? All right, there we go.
What's the grossest thing you've had to do on set? I'll just leave it at that.
So I did I can't talk. I can't talk about it because it's not out yet.
No, you really can't.
No, but it was not about Thrones. It's about something else.
Oh.
But I can't talk about that, so it's pointless. But there was something I had to do something really gross recently. Involved me being in a pig pen. Anyway, no, that's it. I'm not going to say anything more. It was horrible.
Think of something else then.
Think of something else.
That's not then, yeah.
Disgusting things on set. I don't know. I mean, it was pretty gross. When I had to, not gross. It was just awkward. So in the first scene, when I have to, when I'm shaving Renly's chest, and I give him a blowjob. At the end of the day, there's like, we just need to get one more shot. Basically, what we want to do is we want to get a reverse shot of Gethin's bum whilst you're giving him a blowjob. And I'm like, what? Okay, what you want to do? Okay, all right, fine. But obviously, what they had to do is because they needed him to not have any trousers on, and they needed me to be there. I had to simulate giving a blowjob whilst Gethin was just right in front of me. Oh yeah, but no. So there wasn't a pouch. There was they were like, okay, we need something to cover his modesty, or what should we do? No sock. What they did is they just got this massive piece of black gaffer tape, sticky tape, and just kind of slapped it on the front of him. And I was just like, what the fuck am I doing? What have I signed up for? It's the first season. I'm shaving a guy's chest and oh God, my mum is going to be so
Staring
impressed.
at a gaffer dick.
So it wasn't disgusting. It was just kind of funny and weird. How about you? What's your disgusting story?
I mean, Hodor hasn't really had to do anything apart from the nude scene, which was horrible.
Yeah.
I have to tell it, don't I?
You're going to have to tell it.
Oh,
My God,
God.
check out. I've heard this story so
Yeah, I know.
times.
Who's heard it before? Put your hands up. Who was here on Friday? Oh no, there's only two of you. Okay. That was my...
Good, come on. Energy.
Piss off. This nude scene, they made me two prosthetic penises. One was, it had tight black afro pubes on it, and I was kind of like, where is that going to go? That can't be mine. I've got grey hair. Hello. So there was one that was kind of, it matched me. It matched my own foliage slightly better. So they had to attach this prosthetic on the props list. It was called PPP, which was prosthetic penis pants. It was like a horrible thong, but it had to be plaited and glued into my own area. And some poor makeup girl had to do that. Also, she had to paint it to match my skin tone while I was actually inside it.
What, she had to paint the penis whilst your penis was...
Yep.
I mean...
That's like abuse.
I'd be so scared of getting an erection.
I'd
I'd be terrified.
I was fairly safe. So they promised me that it was going to be a closed set. And it was a rainy, horrible day as usual, like every other day in Northern Ireland. And there was 200 people probably standing in a circle, just almost like with binoculars and bird watching glasses. And the power kept cutting out. It was raining. I had to crouch down in this horrible bush.
This massive
bush.
prosthetic penis.
Wait, the one you didn't use?
Yeah, the other bush. Yeah. And I had to emerge from the bush. But every time I emerged, there were two birds, two pheasants, on either side of the encampment. And every time I would rustle in the bushes, one of them would call out because they wanted to mate. So I would emerge, and you would hear this noise. So we had to keep resetting. It was 75 times. It was definitely the worst day of my life. Definitely. And the horrible thing was I would still find bits of glue and extra hair about 2 months later, because it doesn't just come off. You have to actually wash it. I don't do that. No, it has to like wear off this horrible stuff. That was awful.
What's the prosthetic penis like? What's the kind of like, what's it made of?
Sorry. It's like, it's horrible. It feels like real
Is it like
skin.
silicone?
No, it's like it's weighted and everything.
Weighted?
They've
Oh,
got
wow.
like, yeah, it's got actually has heft to it.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's
Did you
not
have to keep
nice.
it afterwards?
No, I did not. We parted ways and we have never seen each other since.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
It'd be great to have it like on your mantelpiece or something.
No, we're not. What, like a trout?
Yeah, like a trophy trout. Yeah, just pin it up on your wall.
No, I can put it on eBay.
Put it on eBay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably make quite a bit.
Anyway, what was the question?
Pretty sure it had nothing to do with prosthetic penises.
Also, another horrible thing we had to do was in Winterfell. It was always covered in horse shit everywhere, and you were always constantly covered in horse shit. There you go. I should have just said that, shouldn't I?
Do we have another question out here in the audience? All right, there we go. Yeah, sure. Just go ahead.
What are each of your favorite moments from working on set? And another question: you blinked in my picture. Can we fix that?
Oh yeah, we can do that. We can totally do that. Do you want to do it right now? Yeah, let's do it. You can.
Yeah, I'll tell my
story.
God. What was the question again?
What's your favorite moment from working on set?
Going home every day.
Only 15 minutes away.
Yeah. No, my favorite moment. You have to talk over me, please.
Oh, shut up.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's your panel. Fair enough.
All right. So what's the question? What's my favorite
Moment. My favorite moment, because we're doing this now.
It's usually actually it's kind of when we go out for dinner afterwards. Funny. Just me and you, the candlelit dinners. Oh.
Every night.
Every night.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the scene where I choked and broke Locke's neck. That was a great scene. It was a lot of fun. I had to do stunt training and stuff, how to lift him up without actually hurting him. That was fun. So that would be my favorite scene.
I always like all this. Whenever I have to get into armor, that's always really fun. Like wearing the armor is really badass. Feels really good. I really enjoyed what was it? Blackwater, the Battle of Blackwater. Like coming in at the end, that felt seriously badass. I really enjoyed the bedroom scenes as well, like the more intimate scenes. There's something about like being intimate on camera, which is there's something about it which is actually really. Yeah, just Jim. But the thing is, they don't give you enough notice as well. So it's like they give you like 3 weeks notice. Oh, by the way, we're gonna want you naked in that scene. 3 weeks. Like, fuck. What? Are you serious? So yeah, it's like a lot of like not eating carbs or anything bad, and lots of gym. But you just kind of get on with it, really. There's no turning back. So you just it's like fight or flight. You just kind of go in and you just make it as real as possible, and you just play the truth of the scene. And hopefully the other actor is, generous and kind of, understanding, and you both just kind of get on with it. And both Gethin and Will, who I worked with in those two scenes, were great. Really good, really professional, really just like, cool. Didn't make it awkward at all. Just got on with it, and it was good.
As a matter of interest, see your armor.
Yeah.
Was there a piece of it when you put it on that you feel like you're...
The cod piece.
Really?
No, I didn't have a cod piece. The chainmail was really cool because the chainmail was actual real chainmail. So when you put it on, it was kind of fitted as well. So that made you feel really cool.
Yeah, because I have this cowl thing. It's like a piece of material here, and until I put that on, I didn't feel like Hodor.
Oh,
it was
really?
weird, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like a physical sensation around your chin,
Yeah.
and you put everything else on, and it's weird. Like one
Yeah.
tiny little
One
piece of
little thing.
wardrobe.
That's interesting. That's like kind of like how voice actors and comedians, if they do impressions, are like there's always one sentence they have to say to get the impression.
Yeah.
So it's cool that you would have that same. Only it's more of a physical thing. You have to have that piece, or you're not Hodor.
No, I always felt it was the hair. Whenever there's this certain product that they put in your hair, which has this smell to it. It's a really nice kind of smell.
I know that,
And
yeah.
whenever you go back on to Thrones after not filming, and the first time they put that product back in your hair, the smell, the memory is like, whoa, okay, right. It gets you into that the mode, the idea of where you are.
Awesome.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
And they also used to always darken my underneath my eyes to make my brow look even heavier. And the makeup people always forget about it. So every day I'd have to go eyeshadow.
I bet you love that.
I did love that, but I didn't feel right unless it did. You know, maybe like
Eyeshadow.
That's the way I said it. Yeah.
Eyeshadow.
But yeah, that's those little things. They make you feel like you're in character. It makes it easier for you. Shut up. Who's next?
I have a question. So now that we are coming into season 6, and from when we, 7, and we're seeing that Bran is going to really develop his powers, what does this season shape out for him?
So basically, tell us everything about season 6.
Every spoiler.
So now we're going to talk about a non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I cannot answer one single part of that question.
Well, just, I guess, kind of an idea to see.
No.
No?
Hell no.
Here's the thing. I actually don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, he'll
so
give you his
I can
idea.
answer on his behalf.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like Bran will learn his psychic abilities a lot better, and will start to learn how to warg bigger and better things, such as dragons and people. Giraffes. Yeah. That'll be number 1 on the list. And I think he'll start to kind of find himself through that, and he'll kind of be able to be more of a remote, I don't know. I think he's going to be on the throne. I think Bran's going to be on the Iron Throne at the end. If there is an Iron Throne at the end.
Yeah.
Next question.
Yes. Was there any pranks pulled on set, and if
Pranks.
so, who was the best?
All right, so the biggest pranksters are David and Dan, who are the producers of the show. They always put in pranks. They did a really mean one to Alfie, who plays Theon once. I think it was in season 2 or season 3. They sent all the scripts out, and with his specific script, they killed him off. But they, just as a joke. It was
riding on my back, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was something like Bran stabbed him a bunch of times whilst riding on your back. Yeah. And Alfie, bless him, he's such a sweetheart. He just kind of took it on the chin. I think, he was on holiday, he got the script through and he read it and he was like, oh, well, well, if that's my time up, then, I'll just get on with it. Didn't say anything. And the producers were got nearer to the date and they were like, oh shit, we should actually follow up on that and actually make sure he's okay and he's not he doesn't actually think he's dying this year. So they called him up and they were like, so, what do you think of the scripts? And he was like, well, yeah, they're great, they're really good this season. He was like, yeah, well, what do you think of, your scenes? He's like, well, yeah, it's cool. He's like, so what do you think of the death scene? He's like, well, if the time comes, it's, it's meant to happen. Yeah, you're going to be brought back as a zombie. And they just started pushing it and until he was like, oh, fuck you guys. Why did you put, you've left it months before you told me that you're putting a prank. And they did it to a lot of people. I did think they did one to Kit as well, earlier on in the show where they told him, because Kit's quite vain. Quite vain. And they said to him that he was going to be in this awful battle and that he was going to have to have his face scarred for the remaining of the seasons. And he didn't take to that too kindly either. So they're always putting stuff like that on people. They're such bastards. They know they've got the power. And they know that no one could stand up to them. So, yeah, it's funny.
Do we have any more questions from the audience here? Okay, there we go. Okay. Then why raise your hand?
Oh, not had this question before. If you could design your own throne, what would it look like? What would my throne look like? Comfortable, that's for one. Yeah. Maybe. Oh no, I tell you what it'd be. It would be like a hammock. It would be a hammock. It would be like a really badass hammock. That's all right, no worries. I was boring anyway, so.
That is a good question. That literally, we haven't had that before, ever. So well done. Some sort of food, probably.
Are you just saying that because you're hungry right now?
I am hungry right now. That's why I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
Like a big cheeseburger throne.
A cheese throne.
Oh, that would be amazing. And it's just like got into it.
The cheese strings.
Oh. No, I don't know. I think no, not cheese. A cheeseburger. It could be like
a cheeseburger
nice and bouncy. You can get in there and you just nibble on it. I'm quite hungry as well, actually.
Yeah, I'm hungry too. Yeah, I saw a really cool one actually of video games once. Did you ever see that one on the internet? It was made. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Something comfortable and accommodating. Nothing like the
like swords.
Melted down swords.
Yeah. I would also make it bigger because when I sit in it, it looks really small. It looks like a porta potty.
It looks like we're out of questions.
Really?
Really? Oh, we got another. Hold on.
What would your theme song be? Like, if you had a theme song for your...
I'm every woman. You know, I just was singing that earlier, so... what would my theme song be? Personally or the character? Oh, I don't know. It would have to be a mixture of something like really strong, but really flamboyant at the same time. So maybe...
The Vida Loca.
No.
Kissed by a Rose.
You're so vain.
That's too... Yeah, You're So Vain. That would be
perfect.
That's
a good one.
What would yours be?
The Sound of Silence.